Despite the need for transfers, Rangers pulled out of one for Joan, Jordan. Maybe he didn't want them, maybe we didn't want them. The reality is, regardless of who didn't want who, we're not signing them. And I think we wanted them, but, money wise, whatever, yada yada yada. Joan Jordan to Rangers is not happening. Welcome back to By Stevie Cool 1872. It's a brand new week, and we know what week it is. It is the week where the Scottish Premiership season returns. The first competitive games for us return, and we need something. We need signings, and I am not too convinced that we are going to get said signings over the line. Rumours, not much happening. Is it literally going to be the team that started against Union Berlin featuring... Yeah, it probably will be. I mean, come on, guys. How absolutely soul-destroying is that? That shouldn't be the case, brother. But it probably will be the case. And yeah, it's pish. There's not really many ways I can spin this into like a positive, but the reality is we need to back the players. We need to get behind them. I wouldn't even say, no, I haven't been negative. I've just been speaking the truth. But, when that first whistle goes at Tynecastle, I kind of need to drop the truth. We need to get behind the team, because the reality is maybe the Champions League money will come in. So pretty much what we need is this team, which full of diddy men at the minute, is to feel a bit love for a couple of weeks before hopefully they're replaced via Champions League money and the sorts. That's me being extremely hopeful, because the reality is our arse going to collapse at Tynecastle? I mean, there's a lot of time to talk about Hearts in between now and Saturday, but I look at it and I think, right, Hearts very poor in pre-season. They get scudded in pretty much every game they've played against Tottenham, Fleetwood, etc. Obviously, getting scudded by Tottenham, it's not a horrendous result, if we're being honest, but getting beat 3-0 by Fleetwood is horrendous. You can't spin that. There's no negative to be spun with that one. But as for Joan Jordan, I mean, it would have cost us a lot to bring him in. It would have cost a lot to bring Joan Jordan in with the loans, regardless if it was just a percentage, which it looked like we were willing to pay 40. And then you're a loan to buy option, and it would have been like £4 million for a guy that's going to be, 31 by the time we make that deal. I'm not too convinced it would have been a good one. But anyway, let's move away from Joan Jordan and talk about the Premier Sports Cup last 16 draw, because of course it was yesterday, and I'm just going to say this right here, right now. I don't like the fact that in this Premier Sports Cup you've got seeded and unseeded. I think, the whole gimmick of the top 5 teams going through because of Europe, right, I think's fine. That gives them an advantage, and also we couldn't exactly play games in Europe and the Premier Sports Cup, especially the teams that come into the early stages of Europe, right? But I think that's all the advantage the top 5 teams need. Do they really need to be seeded compared to the lesser teams on the unseeded side of the draw? To me, that's not really fair, because, you're seeing here that the draw is just so lopsided. Like, apart from Celtic Hibs, and even that is like, Celtic are much better than Hibs, but it's like a lot of these other fixtures are... not very fair, so to speak. Like, I think it would have been better if you could have got like the Spartans taking on Falkirk, or the Spartans taking on Queen's Park, or Queen's Park taking on Airdrie, because that would have been 2 championship teams. But the reality is, because of the unseeded and the seededness, it's either going to be a top Premiership team taking on a lower Premiership team or a lower league opposition. You throw unseeded and seededness out, you can't get any big ties at the end of the day. Not that I would have wanted Celtic in the last 16, because I don't fancy us to beat most teams these days, let alone a team that's looked pretty good in pre-season. Absolutely not. But yeah, I think I would have welcomed. I don't think it's fair on the smaller teams, right? Not fair on the smaller teams. But that's the draw. We got St Johnstone, no Ibrox tie. We'll be playing at Hampden because we forgot our steel, we forgot our balls, we forgot all that stuff. How to build a stadium. Well, not build a stadium, I guess. Renovate a stadium. That's the word that we're looking for here, everybody. And yeah, I think ideally for Rangers, they probably would have preferred this to be at McDermott Park, believe it or not. Yes, obviously Hampden, it technically is a home game, but the reality is with that, the rumours going around about how much you're having to pay in terms of a loan fee for the stadium. The less games would have been the better. But reality is, we've got St Johnstone at Hampden. It's an easy draw. It should be through to the quarters. Not many teams we could have took on here would have been difficult for Rangers because, like I said, when you're seeded, taking on unseeded, I mean, realistically, who could we have got that's unseeded for me to bottle it? Not many of them. Anyway, peace.